Welcome back to the #1 LEGO review channel. My name is Last Night I Dreamt. Today we are reviewing the LEGO Batman The Dark Knight Trilogy Batmobile Tumbler. Without further ado, let's get started. This is for ages 8 and up. The set number is 76239 and it has 422 pieces. And on the back of the box, we can see that there are 2 interchangeable heads for Batman. There is a stud shooter on the front, and there is a cockpit that Batman can sit in. Inside the box, we have 4 bags. 1, 2, 3, 4. We also have a sticker sheet with 6 unique stickers and 2 of the same ones. And of course our instruction booklet. So without further ado, let's build this sucker. Okay, and here we have the first bag. It looks pretty good so far. Pretty much just a base. Nothing super special or fancy, really. You can see where the back tires are gonna go. In here some controls. In here's the handlebars. And here's like the stud shooters. So it's looking pretty good so far. So I'm gonna do the second bag. And that was bag 2. Still looking pretty cool. Some interesting build techniques. I like the look of it. I'm excited to see how it looks when I'm finished, so I'm gonna continue on now. And here we have our first minifigure, our Batman, the Christian Bale version. He comes with a grappling gun and a batarang. There is an extra piece of the batarang, so the set does come with 2 batarangs, which is nice that they included that. The front is very nicely detailed. I really like the details of the belt and the symbol and the armor plating. I wish his legs had some sort of details to represent armor or some plating or something like that, but all there is really is just plain black. So there's really no way that you could differentiate that from, you know, say sweatpants. This minifigure does come with a reversible face, so there's one face that has this smile and one that has a serious face, and there is nice detailing on the back of the torso to show off the shoulder blades, the back, and the back of the belt, which I think is really nice. In addition to the reversible head, there is also an extra black head that has this very scary looking face to represent whenever Scarecrow was scared of Batman, whenever he hit himself with the gas. So I think that's a really cool detail to make it accurate to the movies, and I really love that detail. Next up, we have our Scarecrow minifigure. I think this guy looks really, really cool. I'm not sure how I feel about the gun piece here. I think that's a little weird. I don't think that was really necessary, but it is cool that they added it just for a playability feature for, I'd say, kids, as the set is for 8 and up. The suit piece looks really nice, and on the back there is detail of like straw sticking out the back of his neck, and there's even like some belt straps and other stuff to represent on the back of his head, which I think is a really nice detail, and I really appreciate that they went through all that effort just for the back of the minifigure. Okay, so for the set itself, it's pretty small. That's to be expected. It was only $40. So I think that price is pretty fair for the size of the set and for the minifigures that we get for it. The top opens up so you can put your Batman minifigure in there if you would want him to be driving it, which I think is neat that you don't have to disassemble it in any way. It also does come with 2 stud shooters here, which I think is a nice playability feature for kids. And there's lots of detailed pieces with stickers here on the sides and on the front. As far as accuracy goes, I think this does look pretty accurate to the Christopher Nolan trilogy Batmobile. I think it looks pretty good. So on the back here, we can see that there is a turbojet engine exhaust here on the back. So I think that's a pretty accurate detail, and I really like that. The sides of the tire, I think, look a little weird. I don't know exactly why they went for that color scheme. I would have done it a little bit differently, but that's what they went for. I think this set is really well designed. To make it the price that it is, to make it only $40 and the size that it is, I think just for that size, the set is really well detailed. And when you're building it, they use some really cool building techniques to get the shape of the car to be as curvy as it is. So this looks really authentic and really realistic. So for price, this set was $40. and I think that's a fair price. To get these 2 minifigures and plenty of playability features with the grappling hook and the shootable items, I think that's not a bad price for this set, minifigures, and the playability features. I think $40 is a good price, and you can probably find it cheaper than retail somewhere on eBay or something like that. That's definitely an option. So for price, it's a 9 out of 10 because I feel like you could find it for $30 somewhere else. You could definitely find it for $30, $35 on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, especially used. You could probably find it cheaper. So for minifigures, I would give this set an 8 out of 10. I'm knocking off 1 point because this fabric for the cape is the weird spongy kind that I really dislike. I much prefer the cloth kind of fabric. This one's weird and spongy, and it just kind of sits weird on the minifigure, and it only has the 1 hole that goes over the neck instead of the 2 that fold it, and that makes it sit a lot better on the minifigure. So I'm taking off a point for that. As well as there's no printing on the legs for this minifigure. I feel like there should have been plating, details to show that this is armor and not something like sweatpants. And if you don't get that reference, then you clearly haven't watched the movie. But this minifigure is pretty good. I feel like they maybe could have had a face piece and then had the mask maybe be interchangeable, or just a mask piece that would go over top of that, but that could have felt a little bit clunky, so I'm not going to take any points off for that. This is still a very well-designed face and headpiece, and even details on the back, so I really like that. So he gets a 10 out of 10 personally, but I feel like the Batman could have been a little bit better, but again, you know, it's a cheap set, so I'm not going to knock off too many points, so 8 out of 10 for minifigures. So for the set itself, I think this is a good buy. If $40 is more your price range, this is not a bad set to get if you are really into the Christian Bale and Christopher Nolan trilogy of the Dark Knight trilogy. So this would be definitely worth it. But if you are a hardcore Lego fan and you're really willing to take the dive for the big UCS Tumbler, I'm really hoping to get that set because I really want to get the Heath Ledger Joker minifigure. And just the size of that one, and I think the details and everything like that are going to be a little bit more realistic. This set is not a bad substitute. So this set definitely is pretty good. I just feel like that one would be better, but that makes sense because of the price difference. So for set, I would give this one a 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. Like, I don't have anything that I really don't like about this set. I have no negatives. I have no drawbacks. I think the only thing I don't really like is just the size. And maybe the wheels. It's a little bit of a weird choice to have the these light gray pieces sticking out. I don't know why they did that. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 just for those slight details. But there's nothing about this set that when I was building it and now that I'm looking at it, there's nothing that I'm like, oh, this was really bad. This was definitely worth it for $40 just to get these minifigures and the set. I think it looks really nice. So for the overall experience, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Just because I feel like the main thing that you're really getting in this set is the Batman minifigure, and I really don't like the cape. I really don't like the legs. So therefore, I feel like the overall experience of the set is an 8 out of 10. Most of the points come from just the details on this guy and the set itself. I really like the build. It's just the minifigure that I feel like could have been better, but I'm not going to knock off too many points. So I feel like this set was worth it if you are big into the Batman movies and especially into the Christopher Nolan trilogy. I wouldn't suggest it for everybody. It's not an incredible set. It didn't like blow my socks off, but it met my expectations. Oh, I'm going to give it a half a point because there's a grippable brick in here that I did not realize, but that is probably used to hold your batarang. So I'm going to give it a half point because I really like that detail. So it's an 8.5 overall. I like that. That is it for this video. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.